Hi, my name is Mitchell. I am 20 years old. I am from New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and I'm currently attending school in Tallahassee, Florida. And this is my coming out story. I came out after I went away to college. I've always told myself, since I knew I was gay or whatever, I always told myself that I would start over, basically, once I moved to college. I attended a private Christian school from kindergarten until I graduated. I knew the same people since I was 4, and I graduated with some of them. It was interesting. I don't regret going to a Christian school. I was very involved in band. I did marching band, concert band, jazz band, symphonic band. You name it, I did it. I was very musical in high school, and my band teacher became like a second mother to me. And that's why I don't really regret going to a Christian school. The music program was pretty much the only reason I stayed there. Every week we would have what they called chapel. It's basically a church service every Thursday morning that they would invite guest speakers and musical groups, and people would do skits, and they would have like little sermons and whatever. And that was all well and good and everything, but it got old hearing time and time again, like, just homosexuality, this. And it just got old, and I just kind of learned to grin and bear it. And high school really wasn't that bad for me. Middle school is what was bad. 7th and 8th grade, those were hell years. You would think going to a Christian school you wouldn't really have to deal with that kind of thing, bullying and name-calling and whatever, but I felt like it was particularly bad at a Christian school because people it was acceptable. Not so much the name-calling, but what was acceptable was the fact about condemning homosexuality. It kind of just went unnoticed. I got kicked in the balls, I got name-called, and all these things. I got like shunned from half my class, and after 8th grade, a lot of the kids that really were my problem people, they went to a public school for high school. So my high school years weren't really that bad. Sure, I would get the occasional name calling every once in a while, but it wasn't really that bad. Like I said, I graduated with some of the people that I knew since I was 4 years old, and those people have always been on my side. We grew up together. I'm thinking of 2 in particular that I don't recall ever having been a problem for me. If anything, they were on my side. Christian school was bad. I graduated and I moved on. It definitely got a lot better. Once I moved away to college, my school is 4 hours away from my house. So I got my own apartment and had roommates, and I basically just started the college experience. I did marching band my first year of college, and that's when I really kind of came out of my shell. I didn't come to college with like this mentality of I'm going to be a loud, proud gay person. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, that's just not how I am. But that wasn't my mentality. Now, if people would have asked me, I wouldn't deny it, but I didn't go out of my way to tell people. I remember the first person I told was my friend Kelsey. I had gone on a date, I forget what it was, but I went on a date or something the night before, and I got to rehearsal for marching band the next day, and I remember talking about it to my friend Kelsey, and it turns out that the person I'd gone on a date with, she had gone to high school with. So it was just a very kind of a small world thing, and then it just kind of blew up from there, where I just had I didn't care who knew, I didn't care what they thought of me, and basically if they didn't like me, then it wasn't a problem. When you go to college, everybody is there for themselves. For most people, it is the first time they have had to pay for schooling, and first and foremost, pretty much everybody is there for education. They don't care about you, they only care about themselves, and that is how it should be. My business should not be their business. I don't want to make my business their business. I don't want their business to be my business. Everybody just minds their own, they don't care. And quite honestly, there's too many people. Like, my university is 40,000 people, and the chances of seeing the same person 2 days in a row is very slim. You don't have to be associated with people. And that's how I kind of was in high school. My high school was, my graduating class was 35. The entire school was probably less than 500 people. And I basically knew everybody, and I hated it. Coming to school, coming to a large university, class sizes are well into the 500s, and it's just nothing you really have to worry about. People mind their own business, and it's no big deal. Now, having said that, I went on a date, and that's how I came out to my friend Kelsey. I met that person through a Pride organization, an LGBT resource hangout center thing. I'm pretty sure a lot of universities have it, if not every university. At my university, it's called Pride Student Union, PSU. That's where I met the first person I really went on a date with. And, like, let me just talk about this for a second. If you're gay, you do not have to fit into the stereotypes. I was mistaken where I thought that had to be the case for me. I felt like I had to do this and do that and just be this very stereotypical gay person. And that is not the case. And I am telling you right here and right now that if you think you have to fit into a stereotype to be gay, you're wrong. You don't have to be loud and proud and like this, waving the rainbow flag. No, you do not. You just have to be attracted to a member of the same sex. That is what makes you gay. And if anybody tells you otherwise, if you think that you have to fit into a stereotype to be gay, you're wrong. I'm sorry, you're dead wrong. But unfortunately, that is what I thought. I started going to Pride every day after class. Every single day. Mostly in September of my freshman year. I went every day, and really the only friend that I made was a straight female. And let's be real, that's not the reason I was going. My LGBT resource group Pride thing, very cliquey, and I hate that about the gay community, is that they preach equality and acceptance, and they just weren't, and that really set me off. It's just, no, it didn't work for me. I eventually stopped going, and I'm quite happy that I actually stopped going. I hated it, and it just wasn't the thing for me. Not saying that it won't be the thing for you. Go for it. Check it out. Just so you can say that you did. If it's your thing, great. If it's not, great. It's okay. You don't have to go there. You don't have to be associated with them. I am a gay male at my university, and I hate the LGBT resource thingy at my university, Pride. I hate them because, whatever, I don't associate with them. Definitely take it with a grain of salt, and definitely check it out, but don't feel obligated. Don't let them make you feel like you have to come back. Only go back if you want to. Coming out to my parents was really hard. What was even harder for me is I came out to my mom 18 months before I came out to my dad. I came out to my mom July 14th of 2010. I remember the date. So it's going on 3 years. And I came out to her on the beach. Certain things led to another, and I was kind of forced to come out to her. And she accepted it. Sure, she would have liked it otherwise, but she accepted me, and that was the first person I came out to. But my dad, on the other hand, found out in October of 2011, and it wasn't good. My parents have always had this ideal future for me where I would have kids, they would be grandparents, etc. And my dad, I didn't have the opportunity to tell either of my parents. They both kind of just found out on their own. And my dad was not happy. I woke up one morning with my phone ringing, my mom was at work, and she was calling me, crying. She's like, "Mitchell, your father has found out, blah, blah, all this stuff," and I just broke down. He wasn't home, he had left, he had basically just gone off to be by himself, and I had no idea where he was. I was terrified for me, I was terrified for him, I was terrified for our whole family, because long story short, this put a very big strain on my parents' marriage, and no child wants to be the cause of that. It didn't get better right away, I can assure you that. It's still pretty rough, but it definitely did get better. He learned to accept it, or he learned to cope with it. Not so much accept it. I honestly don't know if he's accepted it, but he's coping with it, and we have a semi-normal relationship now. I've never really been super duper close to my father, but it's as good as I can hope. The first person I told after my mom was my friend Anissa. Me and Anissa went to homecoming together my senior year. We went to homecoming together. We were really good friends. We went as friends, nothing more. We were just really good friends. A lot of people thought we were dating, and we weren't. And we were just really good friends. And we went to prom together. And by prom, homecoming was in October, prom was in May. I kind of figured out that she liked me. So I took her to prom. We did the whole prom thing. And on my way home from prom, I pulled over in a parking lot behind a grocery store and told her. It was bad. She's very religious, which there's nothing wrong with that, but she's very religious, and I could tell that it was not going to be easy for her to accept it. And I wasn't pressuring her to accept it because it's her choice. I'm not going to argue with someone over who I am. It was totally up to her whether to accept me or not, and she did. We continued to be friends, but unfortunately we are no longer friends for a completely unrelated reason, and that is between me and her, but I'm not here to talk about that right now. But the fact of the matter is that she accepted me for who I was, even though I was a homosexual. My advice to those of you going into college, for those starting in fall 2013, and you're not out yet and you're debating whether to come out, I say do it. Do it. You gotta start somewhere, and what better place to start than in a brand new chapter of your life. A chapter where you can pretty much control your own future, at least for the first couple months. That's how I was. I started with a blank slate. I came to school with I didn't know anybody. I didn't know a single person. And that's how I wanted it. I wanted it to be a fresh start for me, one where I wouldn't have to lie, I wouldn't have to make up stories, I wouldn't have to do anything but be myself, and that's what I wanted to do. And that's what I got to do, and now I have the best friends in the entire world, and they all are friends with me because I'm the way I am, not because I lied to them and then had to come out to them. No. They're friends with me because I started talking to them as myself. I didn't start talking to them as a fake person that I was in high school. They're friends with me for who I am and not for lies. For those that are still in the closet, don't feel pressured to come out. Do not. Don't let anybody tell you to come out. Don't let a secret relationship, don't let a secret boyfriend say, well, I'm not going to be in a relationship with you unless you come out to everybody. No, dump that bitch to the curb. He doesn't care about you. He is just trying to rush you into something that you might not be ready for. And that's perfectly okay. Everybody comes out on their own timing. It took me 18 years. It takes some people 50 years. It takes some people until they are married with children to finally realize who they are. It's different for everybody. It's not going to be easy at first. You're always going to have someone who is against it and who is trying to fight you for everything that they have against it and against you, but it's better in the long run. It's really who you are, and you are finally able to be who you are and be true to yourself and stop living a lie. My name is Mitchell. I am an upcoming junior in college, majoring in hospitality management. I am 20 years old. I am from New Smyrna Beach, Florida. I am a Florida State Seminole, and I am gay.